Okay, slide 31. Types of contraction. Power, that is really fast contraction, generates a lot of power, or slower contraction that generates less power. And power is related to the diameter of fiber. Um, this is hyperplasia of a muscle fiber. Like I said, if you go to the gym and work out, you make these big muscle fibers, and they generate a lot of force. The speed at which they do is what variant of myosin ATPase is present. So there's fast twitch of fibers and slow twitch fibers. The fast twitch are stronger, faster contraction, shorter duration. And then also the means of supplying ATP to these different fibers. There's two basic types of fibers: oxidative fibers, which use oxygen, and glycolytic fibers, which doesn't use oxygen. Oxidative fibers, they have lots of mitochondria, because that's where you use the oxygen, in the mitochondria. You do fermentation outside of mitochondria. There's lots of myoglobin, and it's red meat. Glycolytic, not that many mitochondria. You still got to do aerobic, as everybody does aerobic, but there's only a few. There's very little myoglobin, lots of glycogen, and these are white fibers. And this is the white meat. So it's like at the Thanksgiving table. Do you want white meat or dark meat? The dark meat is red oxidative fibers in the leg of the turkey. Glycolytic is in their wing muscles, their breast muscles. Okay, slide 32. There are classes of muscle fibers. Three types: slow oxidative, fast oxidative, and fast glycolytic. So oxidative means using oxygen. Slow oxidative is slow and less powerful contraction, but very resistant to fatigue. Like back muscles. You can be standing up all day, your back muscles are always contracted, and they're very resistant to fatigue. But they're very slow. Fast oxidative is intermediate. They're fast, powerful, aerobic primarily, less myoglobin, like leg muscles. Most people's leg muscles are fast, composed of fast oxidative fibers. And fast glycolytic is anaerobic fibers, large, most prevalent in your body, and they cause a lot of power. They do so very rapidly. There's little myoglobin. They usually primarily use anaerobic um, uh, metabolism, and they're quite fatigable. So in your arms are lots of fast glycolytic fibers. So 33, distribution of fiber types. Most muscles contain all three types. Some have more than others, depending on function. Muscles in the eye and hand, mostly fast glycolytic. In the back, slow oxidative. Variation between individuals mostly dependent upon genetics. You know whether you're a good short distance runner, and so you have lots of glycolytic fibers, or you're a better long distance runner, and you have more um, fast oxidative. And you can change this a little bit by training, but mostly it's genetic. So 34, we can talk about a twitch, which is one single contraction of a muscle. There's a threshold period where you stimulate it and nothing happens. Oh no, sorry, that's not right. Threshold is the amount of charge you have to put into it in order to get a twitch. The latent period is the little lag time. And then there's a contraction phase and a relaxation phase. I'm going to show you a graph of this later on. Changes in stimulus intensity. How do you change the amount of tension a muscle generates? Motor unit recruitment. You recruit a few motor units, you can lift something. Lifting something heavy, you need to recruit more. And the all-in-one law means that muscles don't act all none, but muscle fibers do. Either muscle fiber either contracts 100% completely or doesn't contract at all. Slide 35. Looks at the muscle twitch and how you actually do this. You have a stimulator that you can regulate the voltage or the strength of the stimulus, or how often the stimulus fires. It's plugged into a muscle that's on a stress measurement device, which is hooked up to a cart recorder or a screen, and this is the muscle twitch. So you have to stimulate it to threshold. If you don't stimulate the threshold, the muscle doesn't contract at all. You stimulate the threshold. There's a little latency period because you got to send the action potential across the muscle. You got to open up calcium gated ion channels in sarcoplasmic reticulum. You get these calcium has to attach to troponin, move the tropomyosin out of the way. Takes them a little bit of time, but a very short period of time. And then here's the contraction phase. So the muscle contracts, generates tension, and then this one brief stimulus causes this one contraction, and then the relaxation period falls off.